I think we've continued to see this as undermining Congress's ability to be able to conduct our oversight over ICE facilities, DHS facilities.
You cannot impede ICE agents. You can't assault ICE agents. You can't put hands on ICE agents. The actions that were taken that day totally escalated the situation, and it made it unsafe for everybody.
People in power will always find a strong black woman or man to target, to bully, to intimidate, to insult, to malign, and to harm.
So reaction is pouring in as a New Jersey Congresswoman faces federal charges from that altercation outside an immigration enforcement facility in Newark. The Trump administration making it clear a new sheriff is in town. Welcome back as America Reports heads into Hour 2. I'm Sandra Smith in New York, and great to be with you, John.
And you as well, Sandra. I'm John Roberts in Washington. Congresswoman LaMonica McIver now facing charges of assaulting agents during that chaotic New Jersey ICE Center confrontation more than a week ago. McIver and her Democratic colleagues are blasting the prosecution as, quote, purely political.
But acting U.S. Attorney Alina Habba is making it very clear no one is above the law. President Trump reacting earlier to McIver's charges.
The days of woke are over. That woman, I have no idea who she is. That woman was out of control. She was shoving federal agents. She was out of control. The days of that crap are over in this country. We're going to have law and order.
All right, so Fox News contributor Jonathan Turley is here to weigh in.
But first, Alexis McAdams live in Newark, where it all went down. Alexis, is the Congresswoman going to turn herself in?
Hey, John. Well, I thought maybe that was going to happen today here in Newark, New Jersey. We've been in front of the courthouse for a few hours, and then we saw her do an interview on CNN from Washington, D.C., where she said, this is business as usual for me today. I've got a busy schedule going on Capitol Hill, so no sign of the Congresswoman yet. But the Democratic Congresswoman, LaMonica McIver, is facing serious felony charges and looking at jail time after she assaulted federal agents, according to ICE. But she says she didn't do anything wrong. Watch.
Representative, can we talk to you about the charges brought against you?
Look, it's political intimidation, and I'm looking forward to my day in court.
All right, well, when will that day be? We're waiting to find out. McIver is in this red shirt, though. She was shoving and elbowing federal agents, according to investigators. I went through the court documents. It says she grabbed an agent and tried to restrain him, then pushed another agent, striking him with her forearms. The video is one of many pieces of evidence that interim U.S. Attorney Alina Habba tells me led to several felony charges here. Like what? Well, assaulting, impeding, and interfering with law enforcement. McIver and two other Democratic Congress members from New Jersey are all in that crowd there. It was so chaotic just the other week. Robert Menendez Jr., Bonnie Watson Coleman were also there. They showed up at the ICE detention facility earlier this month and demanded a tour. DHS says that's not how it works. You got to make an appointment. So they just pushed their way past the gates, leading to chaos, according to the feds. Newark Mayor Ras Baraka was also arrested that day. Investigators say McIver blocked police from handcuffing the mayor, circling around him and yelling at investigators. His case has been dropped, but hers is alive and well. Back out here live, Democratic leaders and also LaMonica McIver are saying that this is just politics, that it's the Republicans trying to intimidate their party. But they say you can't put hands on federal agents, else you're going to jail. So we'll see what happens, John.
Nope, seems to be zero tolerance policy in effect now. Alexis McAdams for us. Alexis, as always, thank you. Sandra?
All right, John, for more on this, let's bring in Fox News contributor and constitutional law professor Jonathan Turley. Jonathan, always good to have you on the program. So please tell us what we should know about all of this.
Well, what these members are saying is legally absurd. It's not oversight to show up at a facility and try to force your way in. If that were as part of Article 1 authority, you could have 535 inspectors general running around the country just barging into federal offices. That's clearly not true. So what they're saying in the media today is not likely to be repeated in the courtroom. They can certainly say that they were were there as part of their oversight function, but to actually force your way into a federal facility to break through a security line or go through a security gate is not part of any oversight authority that I know of. Now, you can go and you can subpoena agencies, you can even get a court order to get access to areas, but you're not allowed to just muscle your way in at the head of a mob.
Okay, so Rep. McIver appeared on another network earlier this morning, Jonathan, and placed the blame squarely on ICE for the escalation. Listen.
Entire situation was escalated by ICE. They caused the confrontation. The Justice Department and Alina Habba wanted me to admit to doing something that I did not do, and I was not going to do that. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to roll over and stop doing my job because they, don't want me to, or they want to neglect the fact that we needed to be in there to see what was going on in that detention center.
Your reaction to that, Jonathan?
Well, you're certainly allowed to go to a federal facility to see if there's something unlawful going on. You're just not allowed to go to that facility and commit something unlawful. And that's what this video shows. They were told they could not come in. They did not have prior approval. The gate was open to allow a car or truck to go through. And then they tried and succeeded in breaching that security gate. Nothing in that is legal. Nothing in that is part of oversight. That is stepping beyond what you have authority to do. Now, she may have a great advantage here. Much like Judge Dugan in Wisconsin, this trial would be held in a fairly favorable district. A jury could very well engage in jury nullification and just vote on the cause and not the crime. But there is a cognizable crime here. Now, does that mean that she's looking at 8 years? No, this is still a relatively minor skirmish here. But to say that this was within the domain of Article 1 and congressional authority is facially ridiculous.
Yeah, I just want to get this in here. This was Tom Homan. He weighed in on all of it on Fox and Friends earlier today. Listen here.
I said from day one, you cross that line, we're going to ask for prosecution. You cannot, commit criminal trespass at our facilities and endanger our employees. And you certainly can't put hands on an ICE agent. So, she's going to have to pay the consequences for doing what she did.
And now we will let the justice system work, says Alina Habba. Her statement reads, I've persistently made efforts to address these issues without bringing criminal charges, and have given Rep. McIver every opportunity to come to a resolution, but she has unfortunately declined. Real quick, I want to finish off with James Comey and that message in the sand. Here he is yesterday on that. Listen.
But I took it down. Even if I think it's crazy, I don't want to be associated with violence of any kind. Well, I regret the distraction and the controversy around it. But again, it's hard to have regret about something that even in hindsight looks to me to be totally innocent.
Hard to have regret, should he?
Well, this is timed just before the rollout of his new book, and I suppose that attention is not particularly unwelcomed. But this is not the first shell message he's received, and it's a very odd thing that he's getting these political communications through shells, but it might be in time for an intervention. But I don't believe that this is a criminal case. It's just awfully embarrassing, and it's getting weirder by the moment.
I would agree with that. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Great to see you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.